Army recruiters have apparently been told not to hire as many men. News Corp is reporting defence recruiters have been warned they'll be penalised if they don't pick women to fill most jobs. It's a hot topic this morning. To discuss it, we're joined by the Herald Sun's Susie O'Brien in Melbourne and Chris Smith from 2GB and 4BC. Susie, let's start with you. Should the Army be recruiting more women at the expense of men?
Well, you know, the Army should be recruiting the best person for the job. But why can't we assume that the best person for the job doesn't come from an all-female talent pool? For years and years, they've been hiring only men, and no one's been complaining about not having the best person for the job. So I say that when you've got 12% of people in the Army who are female, then clearly they need to readdress the balance. And hiring only women, surely the talent pool of women putting themselves forward for Army jobs is rich and full of talented women who meet the criteria, and I have every confidence in thinking that the best person for the job can come from an all-female talent pool, and with only 12% of women, the Army's really got no choice.
Fucking liar!
Yeah, Chris, it opens up this whole, question of quotas, and maybe in years gone by, they haven't been recruiting the best person for the job, have they? Because they've obviously got a lot of men.
Well, we don't know that, and the fact that there's 12% women in an organisation like the military doesn't necessarily say there's discrimination. It may have been a case that there haven't been as many women putting their hands up. I hate this stuff. I hate this affirmative action rubbish where you create more resentment than anything else, because some of the women will then realise that they've been put into these positions because, well, they only pulled from a female talent pool, so I wasn't up against the best for the job. And then
women don't
men
think like that, Chris. Men think like that. Women in those positions won't think that.
Well, but don't they want to be put in on performance and merit and not on their sex?
But why are you assuming that an all-female talent pool isn't going to mean that women are put in the place because of their talent and
because
their
there's no men there. Because there's no men there.
Gotcha, bitch.
But why do you assume that men are going to be better than women?
No,
That's
I'm not
exactly
assuming anything. I want the best person for the job. This is dangerous stuff.
You're assuming the best person from the job couldn't be from an all-female talent pool, and that's exactly why they need these sorts of
No,
quotas.
you're skewing this. At the end of the day, it's the best for the job. Merit and performance. This is too dangerous work. Don't social engineer this stuff. The public won't cop it.
Gotcha, bitch.
The public know. The public will have known.
The public will have known.
Today, Junior?
The outcome of the Royal Commission into the sexual assault in the Defence Forces,
this
and
is
they
not
know
the way
that
to
one
do
of
it.
the biggest reasons for this is the toxic culture in the Defence Forces, and one of the ways to address that is to have more women, and that's exactly
it's
what
not.
they need to do.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
It's not one of the ways to address it. I disagree. Absolutely. It creates resentment, and all of a sudden you've got men versus women and people being put into positions based on their gender,
It
their
only creates
genitalia.
resentment amongst men who think they're missing out when they have been hired because they're men for years and years.
Well, that's untrue. I don't agree with it at all. And the problem is, as soon as Labor gets in, when the Liberal Party's out, we're going to get more of this rubbish.
Gotcha,
Lots of
bitch.
it. Chris Bowen made a big speech at the National Press Club recently. We're going to get more of this rubbish, and it's rubbish. It's social engineering. We don't need it.
More
Gotcha,
women
bitch.
hired because they can do a job. Well, no wonder men are resentful.
No, more women hired because they're women.
Okay, that is the last time you are gonna pull that crap. You hear me?
Yes!
Do you hear me?
Yes!
Now you are gonna hold down that football until Charlie Brown kicks it. You got that?
Yes!
Now go ahead, Charlie.
Yay!
And you know what else? I did some checking around. You're not a licensed therapist. Roadhouse.
This is
Women
what they're
would
trying
only be hired in the Defence Forces if they could do the job. You think someone in the Army is going to be putting a woman on the frontline combat role if she can't actually do the job? That's absurd.
Let's
It's
pick
absolutely
the right
absurd
person.
for you to
Why are
suggest
we
that.
worrying about their gender? Why?
Gotcha,
Well,
bitch.
because there's only 12% of women, and clearly that's an unhealthy environment.
Рядовой Киренцев к бою готов.
Наблюдаем.
Смотрим поле, снимаем предохранителя. Левой рукой дальше. Вот.
Огонь, огонь.
Это не просто шумно, это невообразимо громко. том, попала ли я куда-нибудь, говорить не приходится. Пожалуй, наоборот. Хорошо, что ни в кого не попала. Теперь бы живой со следующей уйти.
Переходите там вниз. Заторную раму до конца назад. Резко. Не бойся. Это разряжание оружия. Контрольный спуск. Оружие вверх поднимите, в поле. Курок нажмите. Поле оружия. Поле. Контрольный спуск. Контрольный спуск.
Все, вы не будем смеяться. Сделайте контрольный спуск, пожалуйста.
Я не хочу служить в армии.
Кто-то скажет, что это стыдно, кто-то надо мной посмеется. А мне кажется, что это нормальная женская реакция. Говорят, железная леди Маргарет Тэтчер и та иногда любила сплакнуть. В общем, до солдата Джейн мне еще далеко.
Military training can be excruciating at its highest levels. But at the bare minimum, a Marine's got to be able to do 3 pull-ups.
Why I want to ensure that every Marine is successful at maxing out their pull-ups on their PFDs.
But more than half the female recruits couldn't do it. So the Marines are pushing back the day when it becomes mandatory.
If you have a failure rate of 55% and 99% of the men are succeeding, obviously this is not going to work.
Men have to do 3 pull-ups minimum to pass the Marines' fitness test. It takes 20 to earn a perfect score. Women had to meet the same minimum, but only need 8 pull-ups to score perfect. Because so few passed, the Marines will let them choose to hang on the bar for 15 seconds and pass without doing